Yeah. That would be a good thing. Like,
How to write a cold open. You're welcome.
yeah.
All right, we're rolling.
All right. My name is Zach Quinones. Rewind. Welcome to Lowriters. This is another video for you people trying to keep it gender neutral. And this is actually a very basic rundown of how to do a cold open. A cold open, if you're a new screenwriter, you've seen this many times. If you are an experienced screenwriter, you probably tried this a few times, but we're going to break it down in the most simplistic way possible. So a cold open is where you start your screenplay, movie, however you want to define it, with an event that takes place later in the narrative. So you're kind of starting in media res, in the middle of things. And you present enough information to give the audience an idea of what's going on, and you cut it off right before you give out too much information. Breaking Bad does this. Fight Club is a really good example of this as well. But I'm going to give you a more blanket example. This is pretty sure there's a movie that's done it this way, but I can't think of it off the top of the head. So let's say you're doing a sports drama. You may start the cold open with the main character standing at the free throw line about to make a free throw that's going to decide the game, the championship game. And as they shoot the ball, you cut away. And then, of course, you start at the very beginning after the credits and all of that. So that's a really good example of a cold open. One of the things that I think is important, besides just having that sort of like chunk of an event that's occurring later on that's very important to the story, is understanding what the cold open is supposed to accomplish. Essentially, let me get, where are my notes? There it is. It needs to establish tone, genre, and the stakes. So if we go back to that basketball reference, you have a character standing at the free throw line, championship game. So you're understanding the stakes, the genre, sports drama, and the tone. Very simple, very straightforward. It's not that complicated. And like I said, watch Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad does a really good job of this. Very simple formula. Don't complicate it. Now, there's another type of opening that is sort of like cold open adjacent, where you can open a film with some sort of scene that does all those things. It sets the tone, sets the genre, and it sets the stakes. And it's a scene that we don't ever see later in the film. So it's a very isolated event. And a film that does this really, really well is Coen Brothers' version of True Grit. Because in True Grit, it starts with an opening scene of one of the characters that, it isn't a main character, but it's like a plot character. You know, they're conducive to the plot. Dead on the floor, and the killer taking off on horseback. And then you have narration that kind of details sort of what to expect from the film moving forward. So that's a really good cold open because that scene doesn't happen at all. And it's isolated from the actual narrative, but it's setting the tone, the genre, and the stakes. And then the main characters come together based off of that particular event to push the narrative forward and to unravel the plot. So that's like another cold open that you can try. So I guess I'll give like a little prompt here. Think of a crime film where you see sort of the opening bank robbery, and you start off with that cold open. And you get to the point where you're seeing the robbery take place. And then right before something big is going to happen, whether the cops are going to catch them or a betrayal, you cut it off. And that's your cold open. So write that out. Then after you're done writing that out, figure out how you're going to get to that moment.